We're going to cancel the Olympics. That's not a bad question. You asked the question.
Well, if you
I'd like to know how my colleagues would feel about it.
If you agree that the U.S. should consider boycotting the Beijing Olympics,
I think that's wrong.
Senator Dodd says he doesn't think that's a good idea. If you agree that it might be a good idea, raise your hand, if necessary.
Well, if the reason we have no moral authority is we're not acting. I heard the same argument with Milosevic. I went over there, found out there was genocide going on, came to your husband, I said, we must act. Now look, we acted. Not an American was killed. We saved hundreds of thousands of lives. By the time all these guys talk, 50,000 more people are going to be dead. They're going to be dead. And I tell you, I guarantee you, we have the capacity, by setting up a no-fly zone, to shut down the Jianghui.
All of us agree
That's
on the
our
no-fly
moral
zone.
authority. Exercise it.
Nobody disagrees with the no-fly zone. Having U.S. troops there
I want to go
is a
back to
problem.
Jennifer, but I have to ask Governor Richardson, you're a former ambassador at the United Nations, and what I hear you saying, what you're saying is that you would consider the United States boycotting the Summer Olympic Games in China unless China starts getting tough with the government in Sudan.
Yes, I would, because China purchases a lot of their oil, most of it, a good part of it, from Sudan. And my view is that they are a leverage point, and they have not been strong on the Sudan. We don't need, Joe, with all due respect, another military involvement. Iraq is enough, and we must get out of Iraq. What we need to do is move forward with the toughest options. Am I for a no-fly zone? Yes. I think we need strong economic sanctions. And we lack the moral authority to build international coalitions to fight genocide in Darfur. We should shut down, I would, his first day as president, I would shut down Guantanamo. I would shut down Abu Ghraib and secret prisons. That is the moral authority that we don't have.
Hold on one second. The audience is anxious for another question from out here. Jennifer.
Tim O'Connor is anxious. You're about to graduate from high school.
Yeah.
Are you eligible now to vote for the first time in the New Hampshire primary?
I am. I'm 18 now.
What's your question tonight?
Well, on a little bit of a lighter note, I spent last summer in Germany with a family whose oldest son was completing his one-year mandatory service to his country. I was wondering if you think we should have that, and if so, how do you plan to make it happen?
All right, Senator Gravel, let me ask you that question.
And obviously, I filibustered and forced the end of the draft. I don't think we need it back. If you want to volunteer for the military, you're entitled to do it. I would like to see a voluntary program where young people would have an opportunity to render public service, whether it's in the military, whether it's the Peace Corps, whether it's the AmeriCorps, all of the above. And then for every year that you serve, we'll give you 4 years of school free. That will give you an incentive to move forward and do something about education in this country.
Congressman Kucinich, should there be mandatory service for young people after they finish high school?
I would take the approach that John F. Kennedy took when he said, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country, and inspire young people to want to serve. Want to serve not only in the military, which is honorable service, but also to serve in helping to clean up our environment, also to serve in tutoring children, in helping the elderly, in working in hospitals. There are so many different ways that we can encourage you to serve. To make it mandatory loses the point. People want to love America again, and when you have a president who will inspire the young people, they'll want to get involved.
Is it time, Senator Dodd, as Congressman Charlie Rangel recommends, to bring back the military draft?
I don't think so, Wolf, at all. I served as a Peace Corps volunteer back in the 1960s when an American president, I've been asked a million times, why did I join the Peace Corps? And I did so because an American president asked me to. He asked a generation of us to be part of something larger than ourselves. Some went off to join Vista, some got out in the civil rights movement, others went to the military, others went to the Justice Department. It's a very exciting time to be alive. But today, in the world we're living in today, I don't think we need to go to a draft at all. We don't need the numbers of people under service. But I like the idea, what we tried to do with AmeriCorps and other things, to provide the kind of financial relief. This young man is finishing high school. He's presumably going to go on to higher education. I hope you are. Looking at the staggering costs, the rip-offs that are occurring with people manipulating through deceit and fraud the student loan programs, I'd like to see us offer some real opportunities for you financially to give something back to your country. In return, we make it possible for you to get that higher education without incurring a lifetime of debt. That would be a valuable way of doing things.
Thank you, Senator. Jennifer, go ahead with the next question.
Brian Sealander is with us tonight. Brian, you live in Bedford and you're self-employed.
Yes.
What is your question?
Well, good evening, everyone. My wife and I have 2 daughters, middle school age, and we do reasonably well financially, but the vast majority of our spare income goes toward funding our retirement, putting aside money for their college education, and we don't have tax shelters. We hear an awful lot about new spending, all wonderful sounding programs, with the answer for funding being elimination of tax cuts that were geared toward the rich. And I was wondering what the definition of rich is on the part of the candidates, with using perhaps a income level.
Senator Obama, what is a definition of rich?
Well, the definition that I'm using with respect to paying for my health care plan is those making over $250,000 a year. Keep in mind that all we're talking about is going back to the tax levels, the marginal tax rates that existed when Bill Clinton was in office. So we're not talking about going back to huge marginal rates. But you tell a larger story that I hear as I travel all across the country. And that is that folks are feeling hit from all sides. They're trying